Hi, Corona Davis Diop here with Black Filmmakers Matter, and today we have filmmaker Quincy Ledbetter online. Nice to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Good to see you as well. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm awesome.
Nice.
It's raining out here in New Jersey, but I'm good. I'm gonna go shopping after I talk to you. So,
Good luck out there. I'm in Brooklyn and it's unrelenting out there. So
wait, you're in Brooklyn. I'm
yeah.
from Brooklyn. What part of Brooklyn are you in?
I am in Crown Heights right now. I used to live in Bed-Stuy, but
Do or die?
do or die. And I
Do or
miss it.
die? That's
Miss
where mom's
it.
from.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right, so let me ask you one of the simple questions you probably get all the time. Like, how long have you been filmmaking?
I started when I was 19, which is way back in the day in 20 no, in 1999. Um, but I was just, messing around with friends and stuff like that every now and then. Like when I come
Mhm.
home from college, we shoot a little short or something like that, just doing it. But
Right.
and I grew up in Virginia and I went to school in Virginia. And when I left Virginia and moved to New York, that's when I decided like, no, I want to do this for real.
Okay.
I started out I'm a musician. So I was doing that. I moved to New York to like do that. And
So you're just an artist,
yeah,
period.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Okay.
I was doing photography as well and
Wow.
visual art. But when I got to New York, that's when I started like meeting people who were making films. And I've always been a cinephile. I've always loved the theater and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh, film like embodies everything that I love to do. It's like visual, it's sound, it's music, it's acting, it's all this stuff, it's writing, it's all these things that I do in one thing. So
Yes.
that was it.
Okay. So let me ask you. You brand yourself as let me get this right, a multidisciplinary artist. I
Yeah.
love that. Tell us exactly what that is to you.
I mean, I film is my main objective, but when I was in high school, I was a painter, a visual artist, and stuff like that. And then I got into music, so I started doing that, and then I got into photography. I started doing that, and it's by any means necessary to express myself is basically what I do.
Yes, sir.
And I don't do well in office situations like office jobs and like
Right.
spreadsheets and climbing the corporate ladder. I've done that before.
Right. And it just didn't
Um,
fit you.
it didn't fit me personally, creatively, emotionally, all that stuff. I mean, I was good at it, but
Right.
I wasn't fulfilled. And even now, like when I'm making a film, I'm sometimes like when I'm writing the film, I'm sometimes like I stop writing to like work on the score, or like if I'm feeling blocked, I'll just like collage or paint or whatever and
Right.
sketch and stuff like that. So
Right.
and I share all of it. I think it's as an artist, it's important to share what you're putting out because people may be inspired by it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
In the same way
Yes.
that I was inspired by people sharing their stuff, that's what I want to do for people. So by any means necessary, any way I can like be like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Do you feel the same way? Are we on the same ride together? What's up? What is this? That's what I do.
Okay. Yeah, it's always nice to have people, that are like-minded to vibe with. It's
Hmm.
always good to
For
have
sure.
that. Can you tell me about one of your projects that caught my eye was the Black Disquisition?
Disquisition. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you tell us about that, please? I'm very interested in that. And
Yeah.
it's a true
So
story.
it's a true story. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That is a film that I made. That story's been following me around since it happened to me when I was really young.
Hmm.
I have a twin brother, so in real life, it happened to me and my brother.
Okay.
But for the sake of money and like not having to animate one other person, I just made it
Okay.
happen to me. But everything in the film happened. So like even like that when it starts, that session with the guidance counselor and the other kids, like that really happened. I really said that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Um, I
I felt that.
yeah,
I felt because I've been there. I felt the loneliness of the black child sitting on the end. Like
exactly.
how many of us, yeah,
Yeah.
identify with that.
But for whoever is watching or listening to this, for context, the film starts with a young kid, a young black kid, with four other or three other white kids having like a talk with a guidance counselor, and the guidance counselor asks all the kids what they want to be when they grow up. And when it gets to the black kid, me, in real life, I said I want to be white, because I had kid brain. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I just understood, like, oh, white people got it good. It's gonna be really hard for me. I'm black. I'd rather be one of them and not have to worry about the police,
Right.
not
Yeah,
have
of
to be
course.
followed around the stores and accused of being a criminal. I'm only 7, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um,
Wow, you were only 7
I think I
dealing
was
with
in real
that.
life. I was younger, but the kid that we hired at the time, I think he was closer to 7. Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Okay, so what are you working on now? You working on anything new right now?
Uh, I'm always working on something new. So the answer is yes. I During the pandemic, I wrote a couple of features and a pilot, and
A
right now,
couple of features. You say it like I just wrote a couple of
I
features.
mean, whether or not they're good is relative. That's but there's one of them that I'm really proud of, but the other ones are just kind of like, all right, that was a good exercise. But the pilot I wrote is I'm really excited about. But right now I'm writing another feature that you know I just I gotta make the work to do the work. So that's what I'm doing. And um, yeah, my wife is a producer as well, and she and I do stuff together. And she's been busy, like, producing films for a lot of indie
Uh-huh.
filmmakers in here in New York and LA and stuff like that. And I just finished production on a film that short film that I co-wrote, co-directed, co-edited with dear friend of mine named Denzel Whitaker, who starred in my feature that came
Okay.
out in 2020. We had such a good time working together that we just wanted to keep the party going.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So just to add to that some more, I'm looking at your work and I'm seeing that you're climbing. I can see just by looking. Look,
Thank you.
I can see you
Thank you.
climbing, bro. You look great. Um, Tell us about this climb from independent to where you are now. For
I
people,
still
for
feel,
the kids who want to do what you're doing.
yeah, I still feel like when you said you see me climbing, I mean, that's good to hear, because, and I don't say this in a bad way.
Right.
It doesn't feel like I don't want to say it doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere. It all feels the same. You know what I mean?
I
It's
understand that.
just I'm just doing the work. You know what I mean? And
You're
like
just breathing.
I'm just doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just doing the work.
Okay.
And I'm glad that it feels that way to me, because one thing that a lot of people who do this at a high level say is, like, they say if you don't love it, then you got to leave it alone. You know what I mean? And the thing that you have to, for me, the thing that I came to understand is the thing that I have to love is the work. You know what I mean? Like, the attention that I get for the work, whatever that is, doesn't really move me that much. And I'm not saying that to beat my chest. Like, I thought it would, but like, I did a feature with BET and Paramount a couple years ago,
Yes.
and the moment when I got the green light, I really thought, like, when I was 19, I imagined that moment. Like, I imagined it over
So
and over
at the
again.
age of 19, I just want to reiterate for you young people, you were working with some big names.
No, at the age of 19, when I started filmmaking,
Okay.
it
Okay.
wasn't until I was 38 that I actually made my first feature.
Okay.
So we're
Okay.
talking like 20. It took me 20 years to get to the
Process.
point where
Okay.
I'm like
Gotcha.
working with people who have some kind of name, you know.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, like, when I was 38 is when I got the green light for the feature. And when they told me, like, all right, you got it. We're gonna make this film with you,
Hmm.
I thought back to when I was 19, and I felt the same in that moment that I
Oh,
did when I was 19, of like, just trying to figure it out, just trying to like, all right, all right, what do we do first? Like, what do we have to do to get started? Like, they were like, yo, are you happy? You know what I mean? Like, in
Yeah.
the moment, they were like, yo, you good? Like, you don't seem excited. I was like, yo, this is the happiest moment of my life. I'm just like, now
You ready to go?
yeah, let's get it. Let's
Yeah.
get it in. Like,
True artists, people. True
yeah,
artists. Ready to
but
go.
yeah, the like I said, I'm sorry, I'm rambling now, but like when you said like you see me climbing, like it's good that it seems that way.
Hmm.
Um, because I must be, because and because I'm just doing the work. I'm just like
Right.
I finish a project, I put it out, people receive it however they do. I have no control over that.
Right.
Um, and then I'm like, all right, I guess I'll start on this other thing. Boom, and then I,
Right.
yeah,
So you basically, um, you just keep pushing. You put it out.
yeah.
Who likes it, likes it. Who don't. Just keep working.
Yeah, I want everyone to like it. I want
Right. Of
everyone
course
to
we
like
do.
I
Yeah.
want everyone to love it and be like, "Quincy Ledbetter, you are my favorite
You're just
filmmaker."
the best. Look, you got another fan over here. So
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. But that's what I want every time, but that's never what happens,
right.
Some people get it, some people don't. Thankfully, most people get it, and
Uh,
I live to fight another day.
right. Okay. So what is a film or a piece of work or a project that you've seen or you've done yourself that moved you, or what's a film you watched when you was younger that made you say, "I want to do this"?
Well,
It's,
crap.
it's a couple of them, ain't it?
There's a bunch, and there's a I'm gonna give you a couple, right?
Okay, let's go.
Um, First, I'm gonna say Last Action Hero,
Okay,
the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from like
okay.
92, 93.
Yes, I remember that.
Um,
Why was that? Why that one?
because it, and a lot of people don't like this movie. Even the filmmakers that made it don't like the movie. But what the movie is about is it's about a kid. His name is Danny, who loves going to the movies, loves going to the movie theater, watching movies,
Hmm.
and then through some magical stuff that happens, he ends up in an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is in it playing himself. And when I saw that, my dad took me and my brother to see it when I was 12.
Mhm.
And when I saw it, it's the first time I became aware that, oh, this is a job that people have. Like, because Danny's in the movie, within the movie, telling all these people that think they're real, like, no, you don't exist. Like,
Yeah.
you're an actor.
Yes.
All this, somebody wrote all of this. None of you are real. Like, it's very
Right.
meta. I highly recommend people
Right.
watch it. It's a
Now
crazy
I
movie.
watched that. I watched it when I was younger when it first came out,
Yeah.
and I watched it maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
So
It
I
was on
dig it.
Netflix recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I dig it.
It
Okay,
holds up.
movie film number two.
Film number two is called Waking Life.
Breaking or waking?
Waking
Waking life.
Life. It's a film by a really, really amazing filmmaker named Richard Linklater.
Okay.
Um, Now, listen, this movie is super esoteric. It is out there. It is crazy. Um,
Okay.
I saw it in 2007. I want to say early 2007. And I thought it was a different movie because the thing is, the movie is rotoscope animated, just like the Black Disquisition is. Like it's
Okay.
actually why I that movie is why I made the Black Disquisition look the way I made it look.
Okay.
But
Thanks for saying that. Okay.
yeah, I thought that Waking Life was a different movie, right? I thought it
Uh-huh.
was a Keanu Reeves movie by the same director, and I was like, "Oh, this is that Keanu Reeves joint. I'm gonna watch this." And I
Mhm.
started watching it. I was like, "Keanu Reeves is not in this movie," you know. And I was like, I actually don't understand anything that is happening in this movie. I don't understand anything the characters are talking about. But I
Mhm.
had this feeling, this overwhelming feeling that I wanted to understand what it was. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I was very moved by my lack of understanding and my sort of like obsessive desire to understand what this movie is trying to say.
Mhm.
Um, and
Interesting.
Yeah, because the thing that the movie is kind of about
Mhm.
is it starts out where this guy he comes home from a trip and he's at the bus station
Mhm.
or the airport. You don't know where he is. He's at some
Right.
sort of station, and
Mhm.
he calls his friend who's supposed to pick him up, but his friend doesn't pick up the phone. So he's like, okay, I guess I'm stuck here. He goes outside, and a guy drives up in a boat. He's on the road. He's in a boat with me,
Okay.
and he's like, "Hey, you need a ride? I'm going this way." He's like, "Okay, sure." He gets in the car, and they start having this really deep conversation. And the driver's like, "Where do you want me to drop you off?" And the guy's like, I don't know. I guess I don't know." And the guy in the back seat is like, "Tell you what, drop him off on this corner." The guy gets off, and he gets hit by a car, and then he wakes up, you know? And
Wow.
the rest
Okay.
of the film, he's moving through his day, having these, like, epic conversations with people. Just epic conversations that, like, you're like, "What are they talking about?" You know? They talk about history, philosophy, science, religion, film, and he's just
Wow.
moving from person to person, and they're all talking to him, you know?
Okay.
And
Well,
I
I could see why that would
yeah,
move. That film had a lot to do in
yeah.
your life. Okay.
And it's just a really trippy film, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, I can do anything." You know what I mean? Like, I can if I make movies, I can make a movie that is whatever I want it to be, you
Wow.
know? And
Hmm.
I wanna say, I mean, this isn't the reason why I left Virginia, but, like, it's definitely helped fuel my decision to, like, move to New York and pursue this and see, like, where I fit in it, you know?
Okay. You're awesome.
You're awesome.
You're awesome, man. I'm not gonna keep you too long because I know you're busy.
I'm good, yeah.
So can I ask a question for me? Like,
Yeah,
how much do you and wifey work together?
all the time, all the time.
All the time?
Um, Usually when I write a film, she's gonna produce it, you know what I mean? 'Cause
Okay.
she's the best producer.
Of
Um,
course she is. Yes, she is.
she's the best. Let 'em know.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
for freelance stuff, we work together sometimes, like,
Mhm.
the stuff we do to keep the lights on.
Right. Hmm.
Sometimes we work together, but sometimes it's just her on a project or just me on a project, you know?
Right.
Um, but and she does a lot of stuff on her own, like, because a lot of filmmakers hit her up to produce their films.
Okay.
That's happening more and more now as we, I guess, grow in our
Right.
careers and
Right.
stuff like that.
Right.
So, I think she's currently working on, like, 3 or 4 shorts right now, and only one of them are mine, you know?
Okay.
Others are just, like, from other filmmaker friends that we have and people that we've met along the way on the journey, you know?
Okay. So I asked because I know it's hard to work with family on anything sometimes, but
It
you
can
guys
be. It can be, but I think
are.
that the great thing about working with my wife as my producer is that when it comes to the work, the first priority our first priority is with each other. Like,
Yes,
it's
sir.
with she's only worried if I'm good, I'm only worried if she's good, you know? And if I have an idea or a
Right.
film or whatever, and I bring it to her, and she sees that she knows me so well that she may be able to see that I'm underestimating myself. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yes.
She's like, you can go further with this. And that has nothing to do with, like, what the film is. It has everything
Mhm.
to do with what she knows about me.
That's right.
And vice versa. Like, if I
That's
come to
right.
her and I'm like, if it's trash, you know what I mean? She was like, I know your work. I know you could do better. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So
And
my point in asking you that personal question was to show people that the people in your life could
yeah,
help push your career. You
it's
know, they could dampen it or
yeah,
they could help push it.
it's all people in your life. I think Issa Rae said this, and the further I get in my career, the more I realize that is true. I forget what interview it was or what talk she was doing, a lecture or whatever, but she said the way that you get to do this, like, at a professional level, at a high level, is by working with the people that you know. Stop trying to, like, link up with people that are up here. You know what I mean? Because they already have their people. You know,
Yes.
that's how they
Yes.
got there. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But
Right.
like, look, instead of looking above you, look to your left, look to your right, and these are the people that you need to rock with. You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So,
right.
and that is, I can't even stress enough how that is so true. That is so true. Like 98% of the all the things that I've done because I knew the people that I did them with.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So,
Okay. That's awesome. Um you just gave one piece of advice
mhm.
that was important. Give me before you go, give me two more pieces of advice for young people shooting film.
best the best advice I ever got is just start. You know,
Mhm.
if you want to do something, just start doing it. Uh,
Okay.
within the confines of morality, don't break any laws because they'll
Talk to
get
the kids, Quincy. Talk to the
yeah
kids.
they'll get us out here. But I remember I was setting out to make my first short film as a writer director. Like this is back in like 2012 or whatever. And I called a producer friend of mine who had done like feature films and stuff like that, and I was like, "Hey, how do I get started?" And she was like, "Just start." And I was so pissed. I was like, "Okay, thanks," because I thought like, "Yo, what's the cheat code?" You know what I mean? Like, what's what's step one?
Right.
Um, but there's no there's no fast lane, there's no cheat code, there's no step one. It's just, okay, I want to make this movie. I'm just going to start making the movie. You know what I mean? I think a lot
Mhm.
of things that even like professional people who like a lot of filmmakers at my level, one thing that they get caught up on is like, but where's the money going to come from?
Mhm.
The money's going to come. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that sounds weird. That sounds very wishy washy. But
Mhm.
if you start making the film, if you just start making it, then it'll happen. Then it'll get made. You'll look up one day and it'll get made. Perfect example is like, and I'm sorry I'm talking so much, but this is
No. Teach.
um,
Mhm.
I think that uh, the example is this. Like, let's say you have nothing. You have nothing. All you have is an iPhone, right? And you want
Yes,
to make a
sir.
movie, right?
Mhm.
You say, okay, I have an iPhone. That means I have a 4K camera with high quality. Even if you have a iPhone 5,
Right.
Sean Baker made Tangerine, like won all these awards. He made that with an iPhone 5. You know what I mean?
Wow. See, I didn't
Um,
know.
so
Okay.
like, let's say all you have in is iPhone, you want to make a movie. Like, okay, I'm just gonna start making this movie. What do I need to make a movie? I need a script. Okay, I don't know anyone who writes scripts. I guess I have to write it. So then you write the script. You write it. Might be
Mhm.
might be bad or whatever, but like you just need to write it.
Write it.
So
Yeah. Mhm.
then you start writing. And that's starting. Then you have the script, and you're like, okay, now I have the script and I have my camera. Okay, now I need actors. I need people to be in this thing, right? I
Mhm.
don't know any professional actors, but I do have like some friends, you know what I mean? Or I can like get people together to be like, yo, you want to be in a movie? Ask anyone, yo, you want to be in a movie? They'll be like, yup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
then you ask people to be in your movie and then they'll say yes.
Yeah.
Some people may say no, but
Mhm.
people will say yes. And now you have a script, you have a camera, and you have actors. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Mhm.
now you need a place, right? Okay, I
Mhm.
need somewhere to shoot this thing. Okay, I live in an apartment. You know what I mean? No one's stopping me from doing it here. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
these actors that I bought on, they have their places, where they live. We could
Mhm.
shoot there too, I'm sure, if we have a low footprint.
Right.
And okay, if you're religious, you go to church. Like I can ask, I'm in good with my church. Like I can see if I could shoot in like a back room or something like that, or in the parking lot, or in the alleyway behind the church, or whatever. Or it's like, oh, like I noticed in this grocery store, no one's in that corner of the parking lot. Like we could go shoot there. And now you're
Incredible.
and
Yes.
now you're making the movie. You
Yes.
know what I mean? And you may want to be Spielberg level at first. You're not gonna be. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And you have to allow it to, and you may worry about like, oh, is it going to be good? It's probably not going to be good. You know what I mean? But that's fine. You have to suck at it. You know what I mean? You have to suck at it. When LeBron James shot his first shot, like it probably didn't go in. You know, you know, probably didn't go in.
I don't know, Quincy.
I don't know. He kept showing up to the court. You know what I mean? He kept showing up to the court. Um, so that's the second piece of advice. Just start making the film, right?
Okay.
And
Uh-huh.
the third, and this is more technical,
Hmm.
learn learn how to edit. Um,
Yeah.
you have to. I'm a firm believer that the only reason I am as good of a filmmaker as I am, however good I am, is
Mhm.
because I know how to edit. You know,
Really?
it's big. Yeah,
Okay.
sure. It's because I know how to write and I know how to edit, for sure.
Okay.
But editing is, I think, the most powerful tool, the most powerful skill that you can have as a filmmaker, because like it gives you a next level understanding of how to tell a story. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um,
Hmm.
a lot of people can write. A lot of people can write really great stories, but when you write and then think about what you're writing as an editor,
Hmm.
it enhances it. When you're a director and you're directing and you understand what you need for the edit
Right.
and what you can use for the edit,
Yes, sir.
then people may be like, "Yo, why are you getting that one pickup?" It's like, "Yo, I know exactly how I'm going to use this." You know what I mean?
So, so, that's the question. So, when you edit, do you ever find yourself looking at the clock and it's 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours later?
Oh
I
yeah.
get stuck when I edit.
Oh yeah. It's
My
like
family's like, you coming home?
it's time flies when you're doing this.
Yes.
Like it
Yes.
flies. Like people talk about the long hours on a film set.
Hmm.
There's never enough time. Like never. Like people like we just shot a film a couple months ago and we had one overnight shoot.
Uh-huh.
And for those who don't know, an overnight shoot is when you start at night and you finish the next day.
Okay.
So I think for our overnight, we started at 7 p.m. and we went until 7 a.m. or
Hmm.
around 6 a.m. the next morning.
Hmm.
It goes by so quick. You're like, man, I'm going to be tired. It's going to be a long night. And
Right.
then you get 30 minutes in. He's like, yo, we need 3 more hours. Like, we need, you know what I mean? There's
I
not enough
know.
time,
Yeah.
you know?
Uh-huh.
Um, but when you're doing any of this, time goes by really quick. I think writing is the only time when time goes by really slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And also from an economic standpoint, editing is you can make good money editing. You know what I mean? You can
Hmm.
make decent money as a freelance editor because
Okay.
everyone needs it and everyone needs it fast. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Hmm.
Everyone needs an editor and they need an editor right now. And they'll send you the footage. If you know how to cut that stuff together to enhance their story, you're gonna
Right.
keep coming back. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I think honing that skill will not only maybe make you think, oh, maybe I don't want to be a director. I want to be an editor. Some people do that, not me.
Hmm.
But editing is going to really enhance every other skill that you have as a filmmaker and as a storyteller, just in general. So
I love the way you put that. I've never thought of that.
yeah, it's real
As
talk.
many filmmakers, singers, artists I grew up around, I've never heard that. That's awesome.
Oh, I'm glad. Yeah,
Thank you so much for joining us, Quincy.
yeah, for
You're the
sure,
best, man. Stay in touch.
for sure.
And
You
there's a movie I want to email you to see if you watched it. It's on Netflix and it's called No One Can Help You Now.
no
It's
one will
something
save
like
you.
that. Will save you.
It's on
Did you
Hulu.
see it?
It's on Hulu.
Hulu. Okay.
Yeah,
Did you see it?
I watched it just yesterday.
I thought it was amazing.
It's really good. No dialogue.
Yes.
No
Yes.
dialogue. So awesome. So
You a BA if you could do that. I
yeah,
think an
yeah,
entire movie, the action, guys. You have to see this movie.
yeah.
It's
It's really
awesome.
good. Really good. I also recommend on Netflix a film called Athena.
Athena.
It's a French film.
Okay.
It's I don't even want to get into it. It's just like what it's brilliant filmmaking, it's brilliant storytelling, it's brilliant acting. I just it's just so good. I watched that 2 days ago.
He said it's just so good.
So
See the look on you, just see the look on your face,
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So thank you so much again, Quincy.
No problem.
I have a couple more questions for you, but that's as a filmmaker. I'll email you.
Okay. Yeah. Hit me up.
And tell wifey we said hi
For
and thank
sure.
you for
For sure.
lending you out.
Yeah.
And you guys be good. Thank you, Quincy Ledbetter, everybody. We're gonna put, his tags and his handles on social media. And thanks again.
You're
Have a good
welcome.
day.